So if we compare between Redux useContext and Zustand, then this is our we will compare three functionality with Zustand, Redux, uh, and useContext hook in React. So this is the functionality for useContext. You can see we have a lot of code like actions, state, and a lot of dependencies, and we need to wrap our main app with this provider, something like that. And also we need to create use context and use this counter and wrap our main app with this counter provider, and lot of dependency. And for just simple functionality to manage it globally, we need lot of functionality. So it is very hard to implement, and whenever we will use this same functionality in another component without dependent on counter, but it will be re-render. Suppose we have add to cart, and we are using cart items, but whenever we change count value, then with same use context, then our where we use this context, then every component trigger re-render. This is the problem of use context hook. So we'll solve this problem, use context hook. So that's why do this it easily. So this is our Zustand, and this is our type of data what we will accept, and just 4 lines of code we have managed everything, and it will work globally without causing re-render with non-functional dependencies, or which component is not dependent or this count state or increment decrement, then it will be not re-render whenever we change this functionality. So it is very easy. Just look at this, just few lines of code, then just look at this, the use our use context hook in React, and Zustand implementation. It is very easy. And if you use JavaScript, then you don't need your TypeScript. That in this case you don't need to define type also. So it is very powerful, and you can use, like, you can persist data, you can use Redux dev tools also with Zustand, and lot of things. With the minimal configuration you can use globally, manage your state, alternative Redux, and use context. So this is benefit of Zustand, and in this whole video we will create a Zustand with Next.js app we will implement, and we will learn how it's work. So, and again here we have comparison, and it is this comparison between use context hook and Zustand. So it's like state management, so we need use reducer for complex state managing. So it has, and Zustand has built-in state management and with simple setters. So just look at this, and this is our set functionality. This is called setters, and we are just setting a new state, and we are just updating our state concurrently without needing like use effect, use reducer, or use context, and also without re-rendering non dependencies sense, without it will be re-render. So we can use it globally, and we can create like separate hook called use counter or separate file for this. And also we can use from here, we can use just export const use counter. We can use in any component in our app. So it is, we don't need any provider to provide it, and we will just single line of code we can persist data with Zustand. So before do this, we will, so you can read the comparison, what is the difference between use context and Zustand, and after that we will comparison Zustand and use context with Redux toolkit. So this is the same functionality with Redux toolkit, and you can see that here we need lot of code, lot of just raw coding to implement same functionality. It is just we are spending our times, and it is not for small cases. For big application, we can also use Zustand everywhere for a medium or very large application concurrently without needing Redux toolkit or useContext hook. So most of the time without using useContext. So useContext hook means without drilling props, you can use the useContext hook to pass data on their children without passing as a props. So this is the benefit of useContext hook. Just pass data on their children, and this is the just Redux functionality, and you can see that the same functionality we need a lot of dependencies, lot of coding, just provider, we need store, we need React Redux, and lot of things. The same functionality we need a lot of things. So this is the comparison between Redux, useContext, and Zustand, and you can read this. Just pause the video and you can read the difference between Redux, useContext, and context hook in React and Zustand. So just look at this. It is very horrible to see, and just it will consume your time to implementation. But if we use Zustand, the simple line of code, it is very type shaped. It has and we can immediately store our data on local storage, or just search Zustand on our browser, go to Zustand, and here just we can create global state management solution with Zustand. The single lines of code, we can use this store globally. So in any component we can use it in any component in our app. So this is very powerful. And if we go to our documentation in Zustand, just we need to install the Zustand library, and you can follow this step how you can create your first store and how you can use. Here you have a lot of dependencies. Here you have integration with, so here you have a manual integration and lot of functionality, but most of the time we need very minimal functionality, and we can persist data by Zustand persist where persisting store data. So whenever we change our data, we can persist store. So JSON storage. So this is session storage. So Zustand middleware, in the Zustand middleware, Zustand/middleware, we can persist our changes data immediately. We in local storage or session storage, or maybe you can create your own custom storage, and this is your store name on local store, and this is where you can store. Just in this case they are using it is session storage. So it is, so you can just look at this. It is very simple, easier, and we will implement this with our Next.js app. And on the previous video we have implemented just Express and Next.js app, and we have connected between them, and we have learned how we can connect server with client, Next.js client, and how we can fetch data, how we can create product, update or delete product. And now we're gonna just use Zustand. That's why I'm giving we are just creating a new route called Zustand slash our base file, or Zustand base.tsx, and refs ce, and we don't have installed Zustand, and So we need to install like that because it is export as a const. It is not default export. It will show an error and warning if we error as default import here. And this is a client component, that's why we are making this component as a client component, and we are just going to running our server. Run. So yeah, run dev. As a package manager, we are using Ban. You can use any package manager, and this is our simple Next.js app. So default, after creating the Next.js default app, so this is the default dependencies and functionalities. So we need to before do this, we need to install Zustand. Okay, just some milliseconds it is just installed, but maybe we need, okay, just as installed, and it is export const just create method in the Zustand, and we have just created a new store called useCounter, and we have just this is our type of shape, hot functionality and data. This is the initial data, and this is the functionality for increment decrement, and this we are just extracting our functionalities or function or methods from useCounterState, and you can use this you can use in any component whenever you need without use any like provider. You can use it consistently in your whole app like React, Next.js, and also you can use with vanilla JavaScript and a lot of JavaScript frameworks. You can try it and read the documentation of Zustand. So this is the Zustand method. We have just import the create method from Zustand, and we are creating new store with create method, and this is our shape of data. We have just what we will use. This TypeScript is nothing. It will just give you suggestion on the build time or on the development time. It will give you suggestion, and you know what do you expect from this function. So this is the benefit of TypeScript. And so this is in the create method we have an callback that's called set, and you can give it any name, and this is our functionality. And in our state has the count, so this count, so this state means we are now in the in here. And when if we like state dot, if you give multiple initial values here, and for okay, I'm just count 2 okay, 0, but maybe it is not giving us errors because I don't know. So this is, so it should give an errors, but count okay, it is count 4. Okay, maybe the initial value is not give error if we don't use it here. So just remove it. Oh, we must use it, but without set that type shape. We are using TypeScript, that's why if we don't use it here, what to we will expect in our initial value. Then if we use this initial value in here to get set or getter setter in Zustand, then it will show errors. So we are extracting everything initial value, increment, decrement, function, reset function, and we are just passing this function on the button, and we will just use it. So without use this button, we will use setScene button. So this is reusable button and good styled button. Just import button from setScene. Okay, now our server is running. Just strip localhost 3000/Zustand. and it is very easy. It is very easy. Click increment. Oh, it is incrementing, decrement, reset, and if we increment like 4 and reset or refresh, it is just 0, but we can persist data. So before do this, we will give this code to our ChatGPT and use local storage and Persist middleware So what we need to do, so we want to do that when we type and when we refresh, then our value should be like now 2 is our count value, then or after refresh our refresh page, the count value is still should 2. So in our browser we will store our data with Zustand Persist middleware. So maybe it is just created. Okay, so we need to use Persist middleware from Zustand middleware, and we need to pass this function like that. We need to pass persist function and just name the storage of our local storage where the value will be stored. So you can give it any name, you can give it any name in here. So we're gonna just using this function so Zustand and Zustand middleware already have it is built in, and it is very minimal, and now ChatGPT makes it good design. So now our value is 2, and okay, before that I will show you. So now our count value is 2 on the local storage. So how cool is that? So suppose you have an e-commerce store, and you whenever you add to cart button click, or whenever you add to cart items, and you need to persist your data on the browser without manual resetting after adding, and you need to just persist your data. That's why Zustand is the best solution for you, just minimal and time saving. It will not waste your time, it will just save your time, and you will do this. So just deleting this, and I will show from the initially. Just increment, just call increment, then you can see our value will be stored on the local storage. Just click. Oh, our count value, this is our which is stored. Our initial value is count. So whenever we are changing increment decrement, the only count value is changing, and this is our value. So this is stored on our local storage. So just refresh it. Okay, it is not removing there. That is cool. Okay, it is not removing, it is persist. Decrement 1, so 1 is persist on, and it is getting the stored data from local storage. So it is very cool, and you can try it. So how cool is that? So you don't need use without using like useContext hook in React or Redux toolkit. You need lot of boilerplate code to write. If you use useContext hook, use reducer, and if you use like Redux or Redux toolkit, you need lot of boilerplate code and lot of functionalities. But just minimal configuration, minimum functionality, we are able to persist our data. We are able to create global state management solution with Zustand, and it is very powerful, and minimal configuration we can do this. And you can make it like you need add to cart, add to remove to cart, or reset to cart, or total, or fetch data is stored like fetch data. You need to, whenever you fetch data from your server, you need to store or persist your data. So you can easily do this. You can do this. You can use this function. You can use this function on, like, you will use an function to store data. So you can pass data and it is very type safe because we are using TypeScript, and you can access data by like here. So like we have another add to cart, and it will accept like title of our product. It will just title, it will just accept an string, okay, and return just void. And now it is just showing an warning or errors. That's why add to cart is declared but never used. So must be we need to use here. But if you need to set it here, but you don't want to use on the state or create function in Zustand, you can make it optional by just give this command, and our error is gone. But we're gonna just use this function in here, add to cart. We're accepting title, and we are just setting this title. We can set this title, we are not setting this title, that's why. Okay, now we title empty. Okay, whenever your title will be sensed, then title is title. Our key and value is same. Okay, we don't need this state anymore, and we don't need this set functionality, and it is okay. Now error is gone, and whenever you need to set to or access this state, then you can use set, or without do this you can just, this is a function, it's accept a parameter, and it is a setting your parameter without use this set method. And you can use this title. After setting this title, it will be stored on your local storage, and after that you can access this title from anywhere. So we are just using a title, or maybe button, one click. Also you can get your store, then get state, and your store dot you have an get state method, and on the get state method you have the function add to cart function. And after, if we click this add to cart button, then you can see that our value in the store on the, this is now on the only count value is 1 2 3 4. Now add to cart. Okay, our title, but title is empty. Okay, we are passing data, but so maybe we need to use set method in here. So if we like to use set method, maybe we have a mistake in here. Argument is not a time counter state. Oh, our title, we need to set or define our title type. Now error is gone. Okay, everything is working fine. So whenever you need to set data on your state, then you need to set method, and you need to function like this. So after that, whenever we click add to cart, okay, our title is just added on the local storage, and you can access this from any component. You can access this from any component without wrapping use like provider, any provider. We don't need to use any provider. You can use your counter store in a separate function, like, so we will create a function called use counter and cart store dot tsx. We will just, okay, now export. We will just export our function we'll just import from Zustand, and we'll just import Persist from Zustand Middleware. Error, everything is gone. Okay, everything is gone. Now we will remove everything from our component to make our component clean. Okay, our component, we will make our component clean. We'll use this. Okay, now it's good. We're able to access data. We have our all functionality. Our add to cart functionality is working, and we will also accept title and add to cart from here. And we don't need to use control.getState. We have directly cart plus we will use count. And now we will just show off the title. Okay, rest increment. Okay, so that is because where it is not changing, where count value is not setting. Oh, maybe we have don't set the when our count value is 6, add to cart, our count value with the new item is set. After sense, the value is set. So how cool is that? You can use this title count from anywhere, from any component. You can use it. You can use it globally. So with lower dependency, lower functionality, or minimal configuration, you can make Zustand store. You can use it anywhere in your application with React Next.js and any JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, or any JavaScript. You can test it out on the Zustand documentation, where you can use what you need. You can just, you are facing problem, you just search on it. With the search on browser, then you will find solution here. So this is about Zustand. So I think you have learned something new from this video. So if you made this video helpful, please subscribe my channel. I will try to improve, and it makes me happy. So thank you so much. Zustand is very easier and smooth and very powerful, and low configuration. You can create highly customizable, high powerful application. So that is it. So thank you so much. So just write on the comment section what you need to watch on the next video. So thank you so much.